All right, you need to understand that there are two things going on simultaneously. And you have Kanks, that's what I call Trump, short for Kankles, make taco tits. So you have Kanks who has a wish list. He has a bunch of people he wants to get arrested. He has his interior design projects. He likes to gossip with people on the phone at night. He wants to, grandstand and have dementia hour in the Oval every evening. All right, that's kind of his punch list. Talk about grievances, lie. He's so great. And then you have these really dangerous people surrounding him, like Stephen Miller. Stephen Miller wants to completely annihilate the Constitution and form a dictatorship with a military-style state police that arrests citizens without due process. He likes it. He's a sadist and he's a psychopath. And sometimes the truth kind of slips out when they speak. Play this clip of Stephen Miller.
Insurrection. Does the administration still plan to abide by that ruling?
Well, the administration filed an appeal this morning with the Ninth Circuit. I would note the administration won an identical case in the Ninth Circuit just a few months ago with respect to the federalizing of the California National Guard. Under Title 10 of the U.S. Code, the president has plenary authority.
Stephen? Stephen? Hey, Stephen, can you hear me?
Okay, pause it.
What?
So that's what happened live on CNN. And he said the president has plenary authority. And the only place that the president has that is with presidential pardons. Every other area of the government, he is checked by the other two branches. And so it's been talked about online that he realized what he said. And then he wanted to feign that there was some sort of technical difficulty because what he said is not true. What he said is illegal, but what he said is a tell. He's telling you that they want the president to have plenary authority, which is unchecked dictatorship. That's what this man wants. So while Kanks is decorating the Oval Office, while Kanks is building his ballroom, while he's, rage tweeting at 2 a.m. caps lock, while he's golfing, these evil sadists are plotting to put all of the power with him. Well, this man's 80 and really shitty health. So you have to understand they have a long-term game here. They want power to transfer from Kanks to another sociopath sadist, J.D. Vance, who we refer to as Little Smokey due to the eyeliner. And they want the power to transfer without an election to him. And he's far more dangerous than Kanks is. So I think you can see how unlikable, unelectable, unfuckable Stephen Miller is. I mean, AOC just ripped him the other day. Well, I think Fox News, which serves as like a porn style fluffer for Trump's ego at all times. I think Fox News realizes that Stephen Miller is running the show. So they need to do a propaganda campaign to give him more street cred with their viewers, because this guy's not likable at all. And then this weird shit starts happening with Jesse Waters. And you guys, I'm just going to say it. I get the vibe that Jesse Waters wants Stephen Miller to peg him. I cannot come up with any other logical explanation. And I want to play a couple of clips of Jesse Waters, and then we'll discuss. All right, play the first clip, Kylie.
That MAGA men are insulted by AOC.
No, I think AOC wants to sleep with Miller. It is so obvious, and I'm sorry, you can't have him. Miller is the best. I know him well socially, and the man is not overcompensating. Dana, I know when people are overcompensating. I know people at this table who are overcompensating. That person is me.
Okay, notice that Miller is the best. I'm just telling you guys, I think they're pegging. I do. I think that Jesse Waters and Stephen Miller have something going on, because there is nothing remotely fuckable about Stephen Miller. That's why we're at this junction with this guy. He's that unlikable. I seriously doubt his parents even liked him. So we have this broken person with inner childhood issues that's probably been bullied, and nobody's ever wanted to be friends with him. Nobody's ever liked him. And that's why we're in this situation, because we're dealing with a total fucking psycho. And it gets worse. Listen to Waters here.
He is a policy savant. I mean, this guy is confident. He battles CNN with grace and with class, and he provides wise counsel to the president of the United States. This is what AOC doesn't get about men. Miller is a high-value man because he has power and influence, because he has vision, and he's on a mission to save this republic and protect Western civilization. He speaks with confidence and flair, and he's unafraid of anything. Now, AOC may have someone that's taller like Gavin, or someone has more distinguished characteristics like Adam Schiff, the senator, who talks like this, or someone with more wealth like Soros the Younger. But those men are not brave men. Those men did not protect the country when the country needed it. We had tests throughout the last couple of years, tests on crime, tests during COVID, and tests with...
So as you can see here, there's something really fishy here with Jesse Waters. I want to remind you, and you can go back through our library. Jesse Waters is always talking about masculinity. He's talking about men sucking on straws, men slurping ice cream. He's even done demonstrations. For somebody who alleges that he is not homosexual, he's more obsessed with men than any gay man that I know. And I know a lot of gay men. My very best friends have always been, since I graduated from high school, gay men. I do not know one homosexual man that is obsessed with men as much as Jesse Waters is. And I guess Stephen Miller's is kink. Maybe there's something like, there's some sort of weird kink because Stephen Miller is so unattractive, but this is not normal. And I wonder how this hits with the rubes in rural America, suburban America, watching Jesse Waters drool over Stephen Miller. I don't know if it just passes right over him, but the Freudian implications there are really, really overwhelming. And the reason they have to come up with shit like this to talk about is, number one, I think Jesse Waters wants to be pegged by Stephen Miller. That's just right out of the gates. But number two, they don't want to talk about the failure and the incompetence and the dementia, advanced stage dementia that Kanks has. Play the clip.
I let this go. If we didn't win this election, if we had these people that were running, that were ruining our country, destroying our country with their open borders and men playing in women's sports and transgender from everybody and windmills all over the place. If we allowed that to go on for another couple of years, we would be, I'm not sure that we'd even have a country.
Okay. Those are his greatest hits, you guys. Transgender, men and women's sports, windmills. Like, this guy doesn't know anything about policy. He knows some certain cultural war issues that helped to get him elected with white, low information voters. And those are the trans issue. He loves the windmill thing because he's very funded by big oil, and he doesn't have any policy. But here's what is crazy. We have the Prime Minister of Canada sitting right there, and we have dementia, nonsensical Kanks rattled off that sentence, and it's become normal. And that's what's so fucking sad, is that there are, Gen Z and Gen Alpha that are watching this president, the way he behaves, and the normalization of this type of anti-intellectual, ungentlemanly, no decorum, just picking up marginalized groups, throwing them under the bus, and then just pressing your foot on the gas pedal. And I think that what is so disturbing to me is not him individually, because I get crazy people. a single crazy person. Everybody knows a crazy person. I understand that he is a crazy person. I don't understand the mass support. And I don't specifically understand it among Republicans. When Nixon screwed up everything in his presidency, the Republicans are the ones that told him, you must resign. We will not work with you. We will not govern with you. If you don't resign, we will impeach you. And he left the White House with his head down. But we have little pipsqueak Moses Mike Johnson here, you guys. Big Christian, does all the Christian signaling, whose number one job is to assuage that broken, dementia-ridden man's ego. And Moses Mike Johnson has secrets too. So you have these broken men in the Republican Party that all have these secrets, some form of sexual mischief in their lives, or maybe they've, cooked the books on their businesses, and they like it and they celebrate that Trump does it openly and brazenly, and it makes them feel less like they're pieces of shit. And finally, I would be remiss if I didn't point out every single time Ted Cruz is an insufferable prick. And he is consistent. He consistently delivers. Hi, my name is Ted Cruz, and I'm an insufferable prick. Play the clip.
Now this, and this from a man who was one of the early favorites for the Democrats' 2028 run.
Look, he's a billionaire with inherited wealth. He throws around rhetoric like it doesn't matter at all. He's not the only one. Gavin Newsom is doing the same thing.
Okay.
Hakeem Jeffries is.
Is he fucking for real right now? He's a billionaire with inherited wealth that throws around rhetoric. Hello? Like that's the guy that you're talking about that said your wife was ugly, Ted, and said that your dad assassinated JFK. And you're such a pussy, and you're such a prick, and you're so unlikable. You can't stand up for anything. And so you take J.B. Pritzker, who actually fights for the people in his state, all of them, even a bunch of MAGA people that didn't vote for him in rural Illinois. He's fighting for their rights. And that's the fundamental difference between these MAGA Christians and everybody else. MAGA Christians don't give a shit about anybody but themselves. And this really weird old man that looks like a, Grandpa Ronald McDonald trotting around making 0 cents. That's all they care about. They Christian signal to people and they say, oh, well, the Lord this, and oh, my Lord and personal Savior that. But they do the exact opposite of what the central character of the Bible preaches. And Ted Cruz is such a disgrace. It's unbelievable to me that there are people in Texas that will vote for a man who, when President Trump said, your wife is ugly, that Ted Cruz then comes back. He's like, don't talk about Heidi that way. And then a couple of weeks later, he's like, God bless Donald Trump. And what a phony, what a fraud. And that Ted Cruz is emblematic of so many MAGA people across the country. That is like so many people I know in Oklahoma City act exactly like that. They don't stand for fucking anything. And at the end of the day, if you were to hook MAGA supporters up to truth serum and a polygraph, they don't even know what they're standing for anymore. That's how diluted and deranged and toxic this entire movement is. Okay, you guys, a great way to support our show is to buy our book. It's called Life is a Lazy Susan of Shit Sandwiches. Kylie is linking it right below in the show notes, and we'll be back later with more news.